Hello, I'm called Tim, and this is my live hangout. I usually come to you at noon, but I ran an errand and went to see one of my local distributors about shea butter, because as you know, we have a corporation that makes and distributes natural soaps. And I got into a conversation with him about Israel and Palestine, and I told him I was going to do a hangout about it, but he advised me just don't bother. Why take a chance? You'll upset people on both sides and you won't solve the problem. So I said, yeah, well, you're right. He's a pretty wise guy. And we ended up talking and talking and talking about all kinds of issues. So today I'm going to talk about the Omega Point. I finally finished it. Okay, I love this book. And I'm going to adapt my schedule so I can do more reading. I don't get as much reading done as I want. So, by Whitley Strieber, and it's basically about solar flares start to hit the earth and destroy everything, knock out everything electronic, everything digital, everything. So, of course, this society flips out on itself, flips out, people flip out on each other. We descend into chaos, even though old-fashioned things are still running. Old gas cars are still running and still pushing, but the solar flares are continuing to hit, continuing to hit, continuing to hit. Meanwhile, there's this group who are part of what is called the Acton Clinic, and as children, they were trained to save the world, and they basically create a portal that takes them into the future. So I'll let you read about how the portal is created, how it's maintained, and how you can get through. And they lead people through the portal. But the story, the Omega Point, is about how they get from the point where the solar flares, everything is just falling apart, the Earth is being destroyed, to getting through the portal. And so it's a very good book, and it deals with, for me, time, which we need to start thinking more about. And time in the sense that past, future, and present are all one stream. I don't want us to get caught up in this new kind of trendy thing of you got to live every moment as it is. You got to live in this moment. Well, this moment is not just this moment. This moment consists of all of it. And if you can't understand that, you're not going to just be able to live in this moment right now without past, future, no connection, taken out of the paradigm of time. See, I know what's behind this live in the moment thing. It's so that you can live within a situation while the world around you is falling apart, while your community is falling apart, while your children are being snatched, while your children are being shot at. You say, well, I'm living here in this moment. I'm living in my situation, bubbled off from the rest of reality. And so this book is good because it deals with time and how time can shift and time is open. So I love that because I think that that is true. When I'm walking out here, I'm walking out here um, with the understanding of a Cometian, with the understanding of an indigenous copper-colored person, with the understanding of an African American, with the understanding of all that is in my mind when I'm walking out here. I'm also walking out here in the context of the 21st century, United States, global economic collapse. I'm also walking out here with a vision for the future where we're growing food in every building, in every house, in every apartment, and we're doing business with each other, with neighbors, or from here to the rest of the world. So all of that is in my mind at every moment. Okay, so when it comes to time, I think that's what we have to deal with. And the Omega point deals with time being open. It also deals with when we're facing an apocalypse, the earth will never be completely destroyed, but it may destroy our ability to breathe and function and live. Okay? Unless we can adapt, unless we can figure out a way to survive beyond whatever natural occurrences happen. And I think that the Omega point deals with that. How people behave when you lose something like light and electricity. In other words, I could teach and I could write books and I could print them up on a word processor or a typewriter. Now, publishing my books on Kindle and Smashwords is much better, is much easier, yes. And doing these hangouts is much easier, yes. But I just had an hour and a half conversation with a guy about politics and things like that. So I can do this here, I can do this anywhere. And the thing when apocalyptic things happen, societies break down, I notice economy disappears. So if I'm living in this space, this apartment or in a house, if you're living in a house, apartment or room or whatever, you'll never have to pay rent again. The person who owns it will never have to pay mortgage again. So, but it's just a matter of how do you keep it? How do you maintain it? How do you maintain the space around you in such a way that it maintains you, if that makes any sense? So we're part of the natural world and we have to contribute to it in a way that it will sustain us. If we don't, if we treat it like we're a virus and we're destroying it, and then it's going to treat us like what we treat viruses. It's going to purge us out. So I find that with any apocalyptic story or movie, I find that fascinating, and that's in the book. In this book, even though the world is collapsing and solar flares are hitting the earth and it's always orange or purple outside, never really blue skies or anything anymore, people are still at war. And the war mind is a fascinating thing. Violence and wanting to harm the person and wanting to harm yourself, self-hate, outwardly hate, because hate comes from self-hate. And the drive for power by harming others is a mental illness that is plaguing us across the world. You see it in the Middle East, you see it in the United States, you see it in Mexico, you see it in all these places. I mean, you could go into a neighborhood like it used to be, at least used to be, neighborhoods where they had gangbangers and they're killing each other. Chicago, New York, Detroit, LA. And you say, well, why? What is the point in this? And it's gotten to the point where the killing, it just feeds on itself. And it's that drive to want to feel powerful. Remember, it's just a feeling, it's not real. By harming others. But why wouldn't you want to feel powerful by uplifting yourself and others? Where's that concept? Now, where's that ideology? That's what we need. And with modern technology and with the society breaking down in the sense that all the things that used to block us from doing things are falling apart, we can rise up and do things, positive things, much easier. And so don't get scared when you see this breakdown. If you live in a building that the landlord has abandoned, take it over. Don't call the city to come fix it or call outside forces, because they'll take it from you. Use it to move into a new paradigm, move into a new society, a new structure, a new system. So anyway, those are some of the things I got from the Omega Point. by Whitley Strieber, and I hope that you enjoy it. If any of my viewers or anyone in the chat room want to speak now, forever hold your peace. Going once, going twice, okay. Support me by hitting the GoFundMe link so that I can continue to bring you this hangout. I'm thinking about creating a new blog on WordPress, and I want a place where I can use my Amazon affiliate program and where I could put all my philosophical views, political views, reviews of books, reviews of movies in written form. And I had a website that just didn't do well, so I'm thinking about doing a WordPress site, and I'll talk to you probably Monday more about that, or in the next video I should say about that. And so hit the GoFundMe link. No contribution is too small or too large. And if you are sane, keep your head up. Remember, it's not you, it's everyone else that's the problem. Take care of yourself.